There's more to see on the Nemours estate than the mansion and the gardens. Just don't go looking for a carriage house. The Chauffeur's garage was built in 1914, long past the era of carriages. This was the era of automobiles. Not surprising, Alfred had one of the first cars in Delaware, a single-cylinder Benz purchased in 1897. Unfortunately, we don't have that car in our collection, but what we do have are impressive. Alfred loved his cars and to drive, but we aren't sure how much he actually drove during this time in his life. Not only was he almost completely deaf, he'd also lost an eye in a hunting accident, so driving might not have been the safest thing for him to do. However, Alfred didn't like being told what he could and couldn't do, so he probably did drive himself around at times. But of course, there were chauffeurs who did most of the driving. One of the longest employed staff members was chauffeur James Dolan, who was hired in 1912 and retired in 1956. Not only did he work here, he lived here and raised his family. When Dolan married a local girl in 1922, they moved into the Western Lodge, what was then called the Gatehouse, at the entrance of the estate. To accommodate a growing family with 3 children, Jesse and Alfred renovated the garage spaces to be a 2-story apartment on the left side of the garage. There was another apartment on the right for the second chauffeur. Here you will see 5 cars, 2 Cadillacs, 1 Buick, and 2 Rolls-Royces, including a 1921 French Renault limousine. In 1934, Alfred had the Renault remounted onto a Cadillac chassis and engine. Beginning in 1920, the DuPont company controlled more than a third of the stock in General Motors, and although he was no longer with the company, Alfred had a strong allegiance to GM cars. Jessie didn't have the same allegiance to GM as Alfred and preferred Rolls-Royces. Her last car was the 1960 Rolls-Royce Phantom 5 town car. There were only 10 manufactured that year and reportedly got a whopping 10 miles per gallon.